Today we're here with Carl Pardoe from Pardoe's Perky Peanuts. Carl, how are you?
I'm good, Jason. How are you today?
Great, thank you. So this is a fascinating story. I love the history behind your company. So tell me a little bit about the company and how it got started.
We are in rural central Pennsylvania, and my father started this with my mother. He came right out of World War II, basically, and started a small snack food distribution business. What we do is actually more on the manufacturing side of snack foods, and Dad actually started that small part of it in 1959, the year I was born, actually. I kind of grew up with it. When your parents do something like this, you grow up with it and in it, etc. And about 1987, I said to Dad, I would like to split off the manufacturing into another area, get a little bit larger into other types of products, etc., which we did. So that was kind of the start. It was really a side business from the snack food distribution business, which we're no longer in the distribution business. It's all manufacturing now.
So when we were talking, it turns out that you're in an area that I've been to quite often, especially
Yes.
growing up. So tell me what it's like working and having a business in rural Pennsylvania.
I think there's a lot of advantages to where we are. We have, it's a great place to live to begin with, and we have a very good workforce. The employees that we have there, excellent people, very quality conscious, very loyal to us. Our general manager actually is Rose Stitzel. She cannot be here with us today, but she's running the shop as we are away. But it is a great place, just a lot of good people, Strategically too, as far as logistics, we're at a great place. There's a very high percentage, I don't know exactly what it is, but a very high percentage of the entire population of North America is within a 10-hour drive of where we are, and we're close to the different interstates, et cetera, in that area.
And what town is it?
It's a very small town called Montandon, Pennsylvania. We are 2 miles approximately east of Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, and you may have heard of Bucknell University. Bucknell is in Lewisburg. It's a nice town. It's a nice little town.
How many employees do you have?
We have, with part-time and full-time, in the area of about 35,
All right.
typically in that area.
So what sets your company apart from your competition?
Several things, actually. We are quality-oriented all the way through and through. Even the peanuts that we use, we will not use certain types of peanuts. We use Virginia-style peanuts, is what they're called, which is the best snacking peanut.
And there's 4 varieties, is that correct?
There's multiple varieties. I mean, I'm not even going to try and go across that board, believe me. We stick to the Virginias because they are the best snacking peanut. Really, what we do, though, everything is quality-oriented. That's what we're all about. It's the peanuts. It's the way we make the peanuts. We have a perky peanut. We have a blistered peanut. Our trail mixes that we get into, very high quality. There are many things you can go out and put together, some raisins and cheap peanuts and cheap chocolate, and you've got a trail mix. We don't do that. We make high quality, high-end products, and we do that under our label, under the Pardoe's label. We do a lot of that under private label too, which is distributed throughout the country to some very large retailers. We also make those products in sort of an industrial purpose for other persons or companies which might want to mix those different ingredients together into their own mixes and put their own names on it. When it comes to the peanuts themselves, the way we do them, it's a water process, and that's really all I can tell you. But for the perky peanuts and the blistered peanuts, there's a water process involved with the oil roasting. It's a rather messy and difficult process, and that's why a lot of our competitors, particularly the larger competitors, they just will not do it. So we can create and produce something which the larger companies do not have. It gives them extra crunch, a little harder bite. It gives them more flavor. Along with using the best peanuts in our mixes and in our straight packaged peanuts, we do not deviate on oils. We use strictly peanut oil for the roasting of those products, which gives them the best flavor. Some other companies go to less expensive oils, and we don't do that.
Now, how often do you come up with new products?
We are constantly working on something, and you will be talking to Chris Schmouder here shortly. Chris does most of that. I would say at any given time, we're probably working on 10 to 15 projects. It takes a lot to get one to go through some of these major chains, but you continue to work, you continue to adjust, and that's one of the other nice things we do as a smaller company. We can turn on a dime. If you're a large retailer and you want something special under private label, and you called one of our larger competitors for that, they would say, no, we're not doing it. We'll do it quickly, and we can do it quickly, and we can do it very, very well.
Now, who is your customer base?
Currently, it's varied. Mostly retail chains. Okay, a lot of under our label, a lot under private label, and some of that will be mentioned a little bit later, I believe. And some of the industrial type ingredients where we're bulk packing and sending out to others who want to pack themselves. Amazingly, a lot of federal prisons, commissaries at federal prisons. They love our products. And we love the prisons, so we do a lot of business with them as well. And there's other areas, but that pretty well covers it.
So your product is available all over the country. What are some of the challenges you have with distribution?
With distribution, I would say the most difficult thing for us is actually trying to get all of the products which are authorized in any given store in the store, to make certain that they're there, that they're handled properly, et cetera, because we are not like a direct store delivery type company. We're not out there with our own people handling these things. We rely on the people in the stores to do that for us. And for the most part, they do a very good job. But there are occasionally certain areas, certain stores or whatever the case might be, where we just have some difficulty with that, with getting all the products out, keeping them rotated, keeping them fresh. Fortunately, our end user customer base will frequently notify us when something is not in a store which they would like to have. And then we contact buyers and sometimes send product directly to that customer and just say thank you to them for helping us out, letting us know it's not out there.
Do you ever have any challenges keeping up with any FDA regulations, things like that?
No, for a small company, we really don't, and you would think a small company would. Now, we have continued to improve and adjust constantly along the way. We are a Safe Quality Food certified company now, which a lot of companies still are not, a lot of smaller companies are not, and that means a great deal. It's difficult what you have to go through to actually reach that level with those folks. They actually ask for more, I believe, than the state and federal government does. So the everything that we have, everything that we do, we're very, very conscious of not only quality but cleanliness, the appearance, even the appearance of our facility. You know, it's a small facility. It's about 28,000 square feet, I believe, at this point. But and it's nothing fancy, but we try to keep the overhead down to begin with, but we try to make things, as far as appearance-wise, look very well. We are very, very cautious and careful about our cleaning and our cleanliness, as well as all of our records, tracking products, product lots, code numbers, those types of things, so that there's never mistakes made. And if there is a mistake made, we can easily and quickly catch it.
And so in that case, I'm assuming over the years you've seen the technology come in and it's really helped the company.
Yes, we are not a high-tech company, though. We still do things what we call in a batch style. A lot of what we do are in batch styles. And one of the advantages to that is our people, and as I said, we have very good people. There's a lot more eyes on than if everything is continuous belts, continuously belted throughout. In this particular case, there's more eyes on the product. They are quality conscious. We talk about it and preach it a lot. And they watch for things, and they do pick up things at times, which some of the larger companies wouldn't see. It would get out in the package. So we like what we do. We stay a little smaller. That having been said, though, we have the ability, let's put it that way, to produce a great deal of product. People look at our facility, and then we tell them what we can produce and the ability or the capacity we still have to produce more, and sometimes I think they're rather shocked because we put out a lot of product.
Now, I know we're going to talk to Chris more about the current product lines that you have, but I'm curious to know what is your favorite product?
My favorite product would be actually not even the peanuts. It's our ranch flavored pretzels. We do the flavored pretzels for pretzel pieces, and I really enjoy the ranch pretzels. I enjoy the honey mustard pretzels as well, but the ranch pretzel is probably my favorite.
And that's one of my fondest memories going down to that area of Pennsylvania. My parents always picking up the tin of sourdough pretzels. And to see that on your site as a product is great. I mean, one of my favorite things as well.
Well, we hope you enjoy it. I think we might have brought some for you.
Oh, I hope so. So while I was on the website, I noticed that you used the term Moorish.
Yes,
Where
sir.
did that come from?
That's a very unique term that came from my father. As I had said earlier, my father and mother started the company many, many years ago. And my father just developed this himself. He was a very unique individual, and we'd come up with some very unique ideas. This was one of them. And he always preached quality, as I am saying to you, during this interview. We're very quality oriented. And he started using the term Moorish because he would taste everything, every product. And he started using Moorish. And I said, Dad, what do you mean by Moorish? He says, when you eat it, you've got to want more. He said, it's got to be Moorish. If it's not Moorish, you don't want to put it on the marketplace.
That's great.
So, yeah, that was one of Dad's contributions, and it's a good one.
Great. Well, thank you for being here, and I'm really looking forward to talking to Chris and learn more about your products.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you. So now we have Chris Schmouter, and we're going to talk about Pardoe's products. And so tell me about some of the featured products that you have.
Well, we have the blistered peanut, which is really one of our biggest sellers.
Now, and what is that?
Blistered peanut, as Carl mentioned, it goes through a water process before it's roasted. So what happens is the water absorbs into the peanut, and then when it's oil roasted, the blisters pop off the peanut, and you can actually see it looks like blisters on a peanut, and it just produces an extra crunchy peanut.
Great. And some of the other ones?
Flavored pretzels are a huge seller. Not only our sourdough pretzels, but we'll flavor just about any type of pretzel, mini sticks, waffle pretzels, nuggets. And then we come up with a lot of unique trail mixes and things like that where, we'll combine blistered peanuts with pretzels and all sorts of different seasonings. And, we've even advanced to the point where we're doing some snack mixes without peanuts with some, waffle chips or bagel chips, flavored pretzels. The most recent one we did for a customer called Nature Box out on the West Coast was a green chili barbecue flavored snack mix. So, we get pretty adventurous when it comes to things like that. We do a Kung Pao flavored waffle pretzel.
What's special about the perky peanut?
The perky peanut is slightly different than the blistered peanut. It goes back to the way the peanut was actually blanched early on. So it was a water blanching process, but it has a little bit smoother texture than the blistered peanut and a little bit softer bite. So when you look at them, you can look at the two of them and you can immediately tell the difference just in the way they look. The blistered peanut's going to be crunchier. The perky peanut is going to have a little bit of a softer bite, but it's also roasted in some oil with some butter flavor, so it has a little more richness to it.
One of my favorite things that I saw on your site, you don't have one, but you have two types of peanut brittle.
Yes.
So tell me about that. I mean, because that just in itself is great.
Yeah, it's a special peanut brittle specifically for us. It's super creamy. It's thicker. It's not the
the hard crunchy.
It's
kind,
not
right?
it's not the grandma's
Right.
bright light brown colored, super crunchy. It's got a little bit creamier. It's a little bit thicker. And it's an excellent peanut brittle. And then, well, you throw chocolate on anything and it makes it better, right?
Of course. So tell me, I keep hearing about the private labels. So tell me about these opportunities.
So we have a bunch of different private label customers, some national ones that we can't mention. One of our biggest customers is a chain in central Pennsylvania called Wise Markets. We do a whole bunch of nuts and trail mixes for them as well. It's an excellent chain, family owned for many, many years, have over 200 stores throughout the Mid-Atlantic. We do for other companies throughout the country. One we're working on in the Northeast right now, which is going to develop here pretty soon. And it's it's the way of the future, really. I mean, most grocery store chains now are really trying to push their private label, and it's not the old generic as we used to know when you and I were growing up. Now people want their private label to be high quality, and that's what we specialize in. So they can come to us; they know they're going to get a high quality product to put their name on, which is very important to them.
And how long have you been with the company?
11 years.
So in that time, I'm sure you've seen some growth in different products. What are some of the other products you may be working on that you could possibly share with us?
We can continue to develop stuff every day. My project list is probably 30 things long. Flavors seem to be the hottest thing right now. We've actually just started making beer flavored pretzels. So we do a Pilsner, an IPA, and a stout. We're working on a whiskey stick pretzel right now. We work on organic products. We're starting to build some organic formulas in there as well, with some organic spices and things like that, keeping things simple, keeping the ingredient list down, which is a trend right now. So, and the other thing that we're really trying to focus on as well, and what we're well positioned for, is everybody's on the high protein diet, the keto diet, which we're very well positioned for with all of our nuts.
That is really great because you could hit some very different markets
Yes.
with these. And you know, I remember being in places very high end restaurants where they were serving, you know, that salt and sweet desserts where it consisted of you know, like a chocolate covered coffee ground
Yes.
or bacon covered in this and that. So I can see where you're going with these items, and that's really really great. So I asked Carl this too. What is your favorite product?
My favorite product is probably the sweet and spicy mix, which is a blend of it's kind of everything we do into one. So it's got barbecue peanuts, it's got our barbecue flavored pretzels, and then it's got honey roasted peanuts in it. So it's got nuts, it's got sweetness, it's got the spice of the barbecue. It's probably one of my favorite products out there.
So I love that the company's in a rural area. I mean, I've grew up, you know, we're in suburban New York here, but still I grew up in a small town, and there's always a business that's always giving back. So, and I know you guys give back to the community there. So tell us some of the things that you guys do.
Yeah, we're always doing a lot of donations for different events, for the Little League World Series, for 4th of July parades, sponsoring fireworks, things like that. So that's one of the great things about having a small family-owned company is, people get to know you a little bit, and we have the same people that come back every year, and they're so thankful and grateful, just to get 50 bags of peanuts, just to hand out to their people. Like, it's the greatest thing in the world. There's so many great things going on in central Pennsylvania. It's nice for us to be able to do that.
And like I said, I'm proud to say I'm very familiar with the area you're in. So I'm familiar with the people. I'm familiar with the geographic, or the geography for that matter, of the landscape. And I can see what you guys do with the communities and some of the other businesses as well. And it is a very tight knit Americana community
Absolutely.
down there. It's really nice. Chris, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it.